You're all set, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, James. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the Reynolds School Project Building Committee to order. It is 6:03 p.m. on August 5th. If Jeff, I believe you're with us. If you could
Yes.
do the roll call, please.
Yes, members are asked to signify their presence when their name is called. Councilor Camillo,
You got to
Here.
unmute everybody.
Here.
You're muted, Jeff.
members are asked to signify their presence when their name is called. Councilor Camillo,
Here.
Councilor Minor, Mr. Sylvia, Ms. Stam, Ms. Dugan,
Here.
Mr. Wetzel,
Here.
Mr. Woods.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Jeff. I just want to thank everybody for taking time this afternoon for this hopefully brief meeting. Our next item on the agenda is public participation. And we have 3 attendees and no one with their hand raised. I'll just give them a minute. I don't know if there is a delay or not. Oh, Barbara has her hand up, so I'll unmute her. Oh, she is unmuted. Go ahead, Barbara.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just get your name and address for the
Okay.
record, please.
Sure. Barbara School of Code, 275 Field Street. I wanted to just say that I went out to the Board of Education, their website, to look at the preliminary project budget that's out there. And I guess there's a couple of questions that I have. One is I didn't see what Collier's fee is going to be for either phase 1 or phase 2, phase 2 being the marketing portion of it. And I didn't see anything broken out for JCJ also regarding the preliminary drawings that they're going to be doing. And the other question I really wanted to ask, and maybe you can enlighten me over this, is the bond. Is that going to cover 100% on the renovation cost, or is that just going to be partial? I'm not sure how that works. And I guess I'm a little disappointed because it seems like we're not going to know if this goes to referendum. We're not going to know basically if we've gotten the grant and how much it's going to be. And we're not really going to have any of the real hard costs. So all of this is really going to be an estimate. But anyway, that's what I had to say. And hopefully you can just shed some light on this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. Is there anybody else from the public that would like to speak? And then I'll try to answer some of Barbara's questions between myself and the superintendent. Okay, I see no hands going up. So Barbara, the bond will be for 100% of the project. Collier's fee will actually be discussed tonight for phase 2. Phase 1 was paid by the Board of Ed as well as the JCJ. So I'll let the superintendent speak to that as far as the dollar amount goes. But if you hang in with us, which I believe you will, through the meeting tonight, you'll see Collier's phase 2 cost proposal. Dr. Brummett, can you speak to the JCJ and Collier's?
Yes, and I'm going to have to ask Chuck to join in, but the original fee for Collier's was approximately about 34,000. Could you jump in on that, Chuck, as well as the JCJ cost?
Chuck, you're muted.
Thank you, sir. So yes, our original fee total was $76,533. Phase 1, which was the grant application phase, was $32,800, and we were billing that on an hourly basis, not to exceed. I think we probably exceeded that amount, but we like to cap that for the town. For that, the pre-referendum phase, which is the phase 2, based upon the original schedule, was estimated it was $43,732, and that's 4 months at $10,933. We've already gone through July, and frankly, there's been very minimal activity. So I don't expect any hours to be expended from the month of July. So that's going to get reduced, and we'll talk about it a little bit further. But that was phase 2. And then the JCJ proposal for evaluating the renovation status for the school, that was $34,500. That was done as a change order through us in order to go through the Board of Ed funding.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to discuss and take action on the recommendations to the town council. You want to walk us through that? Is it Chuck?
Yeah, sure. So our fee, kind of like what I just alluded to, was in 2 phases: grant application and pre-referendum fees. Grant applications, again, it's completed and done. So the remaining portion for the pre-referendum phase, that amount that we submitted was $43,732. Again, we had offered to do it on an hourly basis, not to exceed. Frankly, I don't foresee us using probably close to that much, given that we're already through July. We're into August, and I believe our non-advocacy period kind of starts at the end of this month. But I do anticipate providing some support to finish the grant application phase, probably September, October, once we get the results from JCJ and the renovation status. Probably have some meetings with the state of Connecticut and discussing that and finalizing getting the grant on the priority list, hopefully in November, December.
Any questions on Chuck on this? And again, Barbara, I think you're still listening. So it's $76,000 not to exceed. And as Chuck has just explained, he doesn't even think that we're going to use all of that money to get us to the referendum phase, which is great.
And Steve, $32,800 is already paid by the Board of Ed. That was funded by the Board of Ed.
Correct. Yeah.
Chuck, could you comment on the caller's question about what JCJ is doing? She mentioned drawings, but could you illuminate?
Yeah, thank you. I meant to touch on that and I forgot.
Yeah, I'm going to bring, if you bear with, I'm going to bring.
Because there are no drawings. It's just a written report. That's all that is being produced right now. But Chuck, if you could expand on that.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. We did receive 3 proposals from 3 qualified firms that we work with all the time on these for. So the renovation analysis, what is going on there is that when there's 2 ways to procure renovation status on an existing building. The first is notwithstanding legislation. And that's where we go to your local legislators. They submit what they call, in the language, is notwithstanding certain sections of the general statute. The Anna Reynolds Elementary School is deemed to have renovation status. And that's basically what it says. And ultimately what that does, it says your project, everything within the property line, is eligible for reimbursement. So you reduce your ineligibles and your reimbursement is higher. The second way to go about that is administratively, and that's the one that we highly recommend. Throughout the last couple months, the district's been in lockstep with the state, being good partners with the state, communicative, and telling them what their needs are. And so under this process, the state has a bullet list. I believe there's 12 bullets that a registered architect, it can't be us, it can't be an engineer, it's got to be a registered architect, has to look at and certify that the facility can in fact meet the criteria for renovation status. It meets the status of a like new building for 20 years. The structural components are, like new. The mechanical systems will be new. The IT infrastructure components will be new. It'll be up to code, accessibility, etc. They certify that yes, we'll be able to meet that. And this building is a very good candidate for that. We're adding the elevator, as we've noted in past meetings. So what the state likes to do, and this is a different change from the past, is that prior to them putting projects on a priority list, they want to see that letter, because once it goes onto the list and the legislature passes it and it goes to the governor, that office is pretty much no longer in control of that list anymore. It's kind of out of their hands. And they want to see it ahead of time, because some districts will come in and they don't tell them they want to renovate, and either they're too big, the project's really not a good candidate for renovation status, and the state ends up spending a lot more money than they would, say, if they built a new school. And that's what they kind of compare it to. We're going to compare costs of renovating Anna Reynolds versus constructing a new. And we strongly believe that's going to be less expensive. Site work and a lot of other factors that we believe will be less expensive. Foundations, structural components, et cetera, will be less than renovating. So it's a laundry list of items that, again, a sort of a registered architect has to put together for us.
Chuck, before you stop, if you could just elaborate a little bit more on how important that renovation status is to us, that if we don't get the renovation status, we could end up spending less money on the project, but would actually cost the town more money because the reimbursables go way down if we don't get the renovation status.
Correct, Steve. So in a renovation status, without that, the status is what they call alterations. And these are statutory definitions. I think it's statute 10-282 or 283. There's specific criteria. And when you have an alteration status, there's about a 5-page list of ineligible costs that include replacement of lockers, blinds and window shades, mechanical systems. Those are not eligible in an alteration project. And there's quite a laundry list. Probably, I think there's 68 line items in there that become ineligible. There are some, in fact, on the list as well, just to be clear, that are still ineligible regardless, like any work outside the actual property line, tying utilities, if we're doing curb cuts, those would be ineligible. I don't foresee a lot of those on this project just by the nature of it. But by gaining the renovation status, all the work at the building, mechanical systems, all your IT, I don't know, there's not really many lockers in this project, but that's just an example. More of those components they all become eligible. So instead of you bearing the ineligible costs, the state is willing to participate at your reimbursement rate, for that. So it greatly reduces the ineligible costs, which decreases your share ultimately. So it's very important.
Thank you, Chuck. Any questions for Chuck? This is difficult too, because I can only see half of you for some reason. So I have to switch back and forth. But I don't see any hands up and I don't hear anybody. So if you raise your hand and I don't see you, please just speak up, because for some reason, right now I'm missing Mike. Everyone else is on my screen but Mike. So if there is no further discussion, we would need a motion to accept the proposal of the pre-referendum phase for Colliers for amount not to exceed $43,732 to go to the council. Oh, here we go. There it is right in front of us. So if somebody would like to move that motion, that would be great. Any takers?
Yeah, move that the committee recommend to the Newington Town Council that it name Colliers International Project Leaders as the town's owner project representative for the Anna Reynolds School project based on their proposal on March 27, 2020. Okay.
That's fine.
And their proposed fee schedule with a pre-referendum phase not to exceed the cost of $43,732. And also recommend that the Newington Town Council authorize the town manager to enter into a contract with Colliers International Project Leaders for owner's project representative services.
Okay, a motion made by Mike Camillo and a second.
Second.
Second by Jeremy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion, anyone against? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Any other business pertinent to the committee? Chuck, do you have anything further for us right now?
Not this time, Steve, no.
Maureen, you have anything for us?
I just wanted to make sure that the members of the committee saw the Anna Reynolds video that was completed earlier this week by Jason Smith in our technology department. And it's something that we'd like to post to our website and also allow that to go out publicly unless the committee has any concerns or objections.
I saw 2/3 of it. I will watch the rest of it after the meeting. And I thought Jeremy actually and your technology department did a really good job of showing what the real problems are at the building. Jeremy?
Yeah, I liked the video. I thought Jason did a great job. And even the floor in the gymnasium where you got down and you can see the divot in the floor, I thought that was excellent. Showing the roof and the window certainly not opening. I mean, that's a big problem. We didn't see anything about the entrance or anything like that. I know I've been harping on that, but I didn't see anything about that in the video, which is fine. My only concern would be, again, the amount to the taxpayer. I know we have that number and it's a good selling point. However, it doesn't talk about term. I know he mentions 2023, but maybe we need to see that in the graphic. That's the only concern I would have about that. But other than that, I thought it was well done. Definitely well put together.
Okay, thank you, Jeremy. Anybody else?
Steve,
Yes?
you can't
Ms.
see me.
Carroll?
I have a comment, Carol Duggan. I thought it was very well done as well. And I liked that the amounts were at the beginning of the video and at the end. And I'm wondering, can we share that, or myself, can I share that on my own Facebook page? Or is that something that'll just be shared through the education, through the town website?
Having done this quite a few times as a citizen, Carol, you can do anything you want. You have the rights to do anything. When you sit at the committee, you have to speak obviously as a committee member, but when you're not at a committee meeting, you have every right that any other citizen in the town of Newington has. You could be for this project, you could be against this project, and you could be vocal. You just can't do it as a committee member. But as Carol Duggan, town of Newington resident,
Yeah.
there is no gag order on you at all, either way,
Okay.
for or against.
Thank you.
Okay.
The more people that put it out there, the better off you are too. So,
And I would agree with that. And again, I think what we're trying to do is just put out the facts. And again, I guess I'll be the first one to admit that I could be accused of having blinders on what the facts are, but it's what I believe they are. I think we're trying to tell the whole truth. We're not trying to hide anything. We're trying to make sure that the school gets the upgrades that it needs to have desperately, and at a cost that the town can afford. And again, I think renovate is new is the way we need to go, because it's one of these rare cases where we'll actually spend more money, but we will save on the long run. It will cost the town of Newington less by spending more. There's not many times you can say that, but this is one of them. Jeff, I didn't go to you. Do you have anything else for the?
No, I don't.
No.
Mr.
I don't
Chairman,
think. Yes, Maureen.
One final comment. I have been in contact with the Rare Reminder and Newington Life, and they are going to run articles about the project in September. August was taken up by back to school, but that is forthcoming, and they will be utilizing some of the data that we've been chatting about during our meetings and that are currently posted on our website.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Jason Smith, real quick. Jeremy, I'll follow up with you because we can still easily edit the video. So we can add, if there's more information or something on the screen, potentially we can look at that. So I will send you an email to follow up. And then our PTO is meeting, just so the committee's aware, our PTO is meeting next Monday evening to give Dr. Brumman and I will give an update to our PTO. And, we've asked them to form a special committee of the PTO to, advocate for the project as well. And, we'll be able to go from there and, use them to do some work to hopefully motivate people to get behind the project. So.
Thank you, Jeremy. James, did you have something to say?
I've got Mr. Minor on the phone. He just dropped out for a moment. We're just trying to get him connected. But
Okay.
just for just so you know, we do have the video if you wanted to put it out, because we are on NCTV and the public may be watching.
Yeah, at least put up the link. It's a 7-minute video, so I don't know if we want to run the whole thing.
It's up to you if you want to. Otherwise, we'll just put it out as a link instead.
Well, let me ask the rest of the committee members. I don't have a problem with staying on for another 7 minutes to watch it. So if the rest of the committee is fine with that,
Okay.
and then we'll go to public participation. I have 2 hands raised. Let's see what who's got their hand. Jeremy, I saw your hand first, so go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm also the treasurer of the Anna Reynolds PTO, so I'm involved in all of this. And I think we're happy to support the initiative, definitely. It's long overdue, and I hope we can get this thing done. Whatever we can do to help, I think we're willing to help.
Okay.
I just want to put that statement of support out there.
Okay. And then it's NCTV. So before we play the video, just in case they have an issue, I'm going to allow them to talk. I'm assuming it's Patty Foley, but that is an assumption on my part. Patty, is that?
No, it's not Patty Foley.
No, it's not Patty Foley.
It's not Patty Foley. She got stuck at work.
Mr. Donahue.
We are set to rock and roll if you want to run the video. So
Okay. So do I hear any objections to running the video? No? Go ahead, run it, John. Or James, whoever's in control. Let's run the video, we'll watch it, and then we'll go to public participation.
All right, give me a moment. I'll get it set up.
Thank you.
Chairman Woods, while that's getting set up, I do have to log off at 6:30 for another meeting, but I do support showing the video, and thank you so much.
Okay. Have a good night.
I think there's supposed to be sound. We can't hear it.
Yeah, there is supposed to be sound. So James, maybe we just go to the link. If nobody can hear it, there's not much sense in playing it.
Was there any sound coming through on that?
There is not, James.
No,
Okay.
there is not.
Yeah.
No. So why don't we
Link,
just
I
use
don't know
the,
why.
we'll just use the link and,
Yeah. All right.
okay.
We tried.
Yeah, no, good try. So now we'll move to public participation.
Oh, the new link.
Is anybody from the public that would like to speak? You could raise your hand. I see no hands going up. James, do you see any?
Nothing on my side.
Okay, so we'll move on then. Comments by members? Nothing? Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
And so for James' sake, a second.
Second.
Somebody? Second by Jeremy. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
All right. Thank you all. We stand adjourned. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, James.
No problem. We'll work on video for next time.
Okay.